Everyone, give it up for our good friend and yours, Schmeev from Juggalo Judgement.
What up?
What's up, y'all?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Crack open this motherfucking Fago for y'all.
Oh,
Got
yeah,
myself a
man.
Genuine Fago, delicious red pop.
Oh, that's the
Love it.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
beautiful. That sounds
Man.
beautiful.
The hiss and pop and fizz of a Fago.
There's nothing like it.
It's beautiful, man.
Love it.
How y'all doing?
We're good, dude. How are you?
Feeling good,
I'm doing
man.
all right. Doing all right. Had a nice chill morning. Watched Death Wish 4. Terrible movie.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Is that a Jean-Claude Van Damme joint?
Nah, that's Charles Bronson.
Oh, okay.
How many
He's
of them?
like 60s.
How many of them are there of Death Wish?
5.
There's 5 of them.
And then a reboot with Bruce Willis.
I've never seen any of that shit.
No, they're bad.
I think that like the first couple were okay.
Like the first one was something, and then from then on they were just like, what if like it was not about how vigilantism is kind of bad for the person who does it? What if it was just about how awesome it is?
That's
Which
funny.
is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've never seen any of that shit. I don't know. I don't have an opinion about
We
it.
need to get a Death Racers too.
Death Racers, yeah, you're
Oh
right.
man, when are we getting that?
So, Schmeev, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm cool.
Here my gathering fit that I picked up from Nowhere Fast.
Okay.
The only thing I bought.
That's the only thing you bought at the gathering?
Yeah, man.
All right. So tell us then.
Smart man.
You're on a podcast called Juggalo Judgement, right?
Yes.
All right. So
That's correct.
what do you guys do on there? What's the deal?
So, my buddy Mike, the original straight edge juggalo, per his own name, he's been a juggalo since like he was in high school or so, and I've known him since around then and been best pals for a long time. And I've listened to a little bit of ICP before. Like, I picked up the Wraith once and had that because the cover looked cool. Because I was like, you know what? My buddy keeps coming up to me rapping the same lines from some song that I don't know shit about. Maybe I'll try listening to them like once or something here.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that. I also grabbed the Malenko because he always talked about the great Malenko. So I was just like, oh, let me give it a shot. I listened to a couple things. I was like, yeah, these guys are all right. And then I get him into a podcast that talks about like new metal and shit, and he's like, what if we did what they did but for juggalo shit?
Okay.
And so now here we are going through every single psychopathic release in order from the beginning.
Nice.
Just track by track, chatting it out and stuff. And
So, so prior to the podcast, you especially were just a pretty casual juggalo.
not even a juggalo. Still not. I still don't consider myself one. I don't have that much connection.
Hey, you do a juggalo podcast, so whether you like it or not, you're just gonna have to accept the label.
I refuse.
So you're very casual, even like it's not even safe to call you a fan of ICP, but listener of their music.
Yeah. It's the dragging the person who hasn't heard most of this through it all. So, I was waiting for a long time just to get to Malenko. I was like, oh yeah, episode 4, baby, and he's like, episode 8. I'm like, oh man.
So how much of a juggalo is he then?
Oh, big time. Okay, so here's the thing. I bought this and one other shirt from the same people, the Nowhere Fast stand, not Juggalo affiliated in any way whatsoever besides being at the gathering. He walked away in financial ruin. He
That's
very
hilarious.
luckily picked up an entire outfit from some people. I think it was who the fuck is that? Not the Safuftiga guys, the guys that they did a song with.
Safuftiga. He's talking about super famous funk time guys, right? Safuftiga.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
They
That's a good
guessed
name.
it. They showed up on the Nightmare stage with someone else to do a song. I don't remember who the fuck it was, but yeah, he bought an entire fit from them, and it was a good thing because he got fucking destroyed waiting for the seminar because he did not know about the trash fights.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was bad.
I almost got hit in the middle of that too.
Yeah, I stayed out of that shit.
Yeah. He wasn't aware. Our expert that we had with us did not warn him about that, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sure this will end soon," and he was wrong.
Wow, what a
Oh, yeah.
fail.
They just go on and on.
Hour
and
and a half of pure garbage.
Yeah.
Literal garbage.
And then more because it was just a Zen of Love episode.
I know, man. That fucking blows. That was so shitty.
3 hours of pure garbage.
Yeah.
Man was so mad.
And just for more garbage.
And I think Jay waited to the very end to like actually say something important, which was addressing the rumors of his retirement.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's the only shit we want. During those mystery seminars, give us news or give us death.
Pretty much.
Fuck. So this was.
They could have started with something.
Yeah, I mean they could have started with something decent, but
Started
and
with the
gone to
news.
the fucking Zen of Love, and no one really would have
Yeah.
complained. But straight Zen of Love, fuck off.
Yeah.
So Schmeev, this was your first gathering. Is safe to say.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, first let me ask you, how many episodes deep are you guys on your podcast
Oh Lord. Hit like 90 or something.
now? Nice, man.
Coming
Congrats.
up on 100 soon. Thank you.
So you-
been
so you-
doing this for like 3 years and some change now. We started out doing it weekly, but then I was just like, I can't handle this weekly. I can't edit and listen to stuff to prep for an episode weekly. So
Yeah, that's a
every
lot.
other week.
That's cool, man. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive that you've been able to hang in there with that much. First of all, I applaud you for not immediately backing out after. I'm sure you did Basement Cuts, Intelligence and Violence, and then Carnival of Carnage. And,
We actually did all of that, some of that late
Okay.
because he didn't have it at the time.
well, that's
So-
probably good.
Yeah, but Intelligence and Violence, I gotta say, not a bad time.
Okay.
I've heard. I didn't care for Basement Cuts as much, but Intelligence and Violence for like the first thing that was kind of put out by them was pretty impressive actually, and there's some fun shit on that.
I like it too.
Yeah, we got to sit down with D Lyrical because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Cool guy.
Wow. So, I mean, you guys were at the gathering doing in the podcast tent, right?
Yep.
I apologize. I didn't get a chance to really. We were so frantic during that whole
Oh,
thing
man.
that I didn't get a chance to walk around and talk to nobody really.
Yeah, it was crazy, and also like with the sound checking going on during that.
Yeah,
it was,
man.
It was a wild time. You may
Yeah.
have noticed I was dressed as Misty from Pokemon because I was treating it like an anime convention because that's the only thing that I've ever been to. So I
That's
was like,
hilarious.
fuck it.
I like that. That's
We
pretty
did
funny.
see you guys then. Clever mentioned it. You were out there. You almost wore the same.
Yeah.
You were like right across from the Duck One Delta table.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I remember seeing. Yeah, I was like, wow, Pokemon. Huh? That's cool.
That's funny. That's good shit, bro.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, that's cool. So let me ask then, like, going through all this ICP shit, barely being familiar with them, like, how have you been coming out of these episodes? Like, do you feel yourself like kind of getting latched into the culture of it, or are you just kind of begrudgingly still like hammering through these songs every week or every other week?
So I like float in different areas with this because the thing that really got me with ICP, that got me interested in actually like digging into this, was like I wanted to look into what they're talking about a lot because I think they got some cool themes going on in their music, especially whenever it comes to shit like, they're two kids who grew up, poor in Detroit and stuff. And, they have this, what I call unsophisticated class consciousness, which is my favorite kind of class consciousness. If it's too sophisticated, it's out there. But like these guys are just like down to earth talking like this is shit that's fucked up and affects a lot of people. And I'm like, hell yeah. And when they get into that, like Piggy Pie, they're talking about some shit on either version of that. And I
Yeah.
love both of them. And that kind of stuff really interests me. So I'm excited for going into some things whenever, I'm thinking there's going to be something. Sometimes they kind of just let me down on things and they're, especially back in the past, they had some stuff I was not a fan of that crops up from time to time. But, I do still look forward to it because I'm just like, I get to talk about some shit. And sometimes I get to talk about some weird shit that I'm into where it's just like, oh shit, this is just like some myth that I know about and I get to fucking flex this dumb knowledge I carry around in my brain.
So what's your shit then? If ICP ain't your shit, what is your shit?
As far as like music and stuff goes, I mean, I grew up a classic rock kid and all that stuff. Got into metal and all that. Nowadays, I just, I'm into a little bit of anything. Throw on a jazz or whatever. If it grooves, it grooves.
Okay.
That's kind of my thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as we've sort of strayed towards things that might be considered horrorcore, I've realized like I don't really care about horrorcore. it's kind of it's a little try hard for me a lot
Sure.
of times, and I'm just like, no thanks.
Sure.
But
Well, so what do you
You
think
know.
then about ICP's more like what do you think about their positive messages and songs and stuff like that as someone who's not into the horrorcore aspect?
My absolute favorite ICP song, the best ICP song to me that has ever been written and put to record, is Homies.
Mm.
That song is fucking incredible.
Mhm.
Not just on like the general positive side of things, but what it's talking about, which like they've been ahead of the game on a lot of shit here and there. Like they really do like talk about stuff that I feel like I haven't quite heard being in the mainstream discussion like until recently.
Mm.
And they were on top of it, and especially stuff just talking about like, yeah, sometimes your friends are the better family and your family really kind of ain't shit. Like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just listening to that earlier today.
Yeah, I mean that
running
song
some errands.
such a jam.
that song is timeless and
It's-
it really did capture
Timeless. It's catchy. It could have easily been on the radio.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think you'll have much pushback, mentioning that as your favorite ICP song. It's a beautiful choice, honestly. So yeah, I'm happy to see that you're into that kind
That's
of
a good
shit, bro.
one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And I mean, as far as like things that we've covered so far, I mean, Malenko, as far as I'm concerned, is front to back an excellent album. I do consider it their best, pretty much.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they get into, like the positive stuff. Even it's not really positive, but I mean, the Mighty Death Pop, the song is like upbeat and fun
Oh,
while
yeah.
they're talking about
Love that song.
the inevitability of death.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the lore is what I mean drew me in. The lore of these wicked clowns like that is the selling point. It's sure what they're saying is interesting and stuff like that too, but the story of them and what they're building, the Dark Carnival, like give me all that shit. That's pointing to all that, man. Like that's where my love for them lives.
I feel like they had before they were out, but like ICP really connected with me because they gave a voice to the voiceless. I think they had a big part in that.
Yeah,
There
of
was
course.
there was a majority of kids in the 90s that talked like that, they thought like that, but there was no music really out there that was like that could represent that way.
Yeah, they were keeping it so real.
It was just they were just normal. That's how people talk. That's how people were back then. They finally gave that voice, and that's what connected with me at first. And then the lore, after I figured that out, that was just icing on the top.
Yeah, they tapped into an emotion for sure. Like that's definitely the big thing. Like even like any kind of genre of music that hits like that, it's always something. Back in high school, I do remember like emo kids and shit getting made fun of and all that stuff. But it's like, yo, these bands, they tapped into something obviously that connected with people and did give a voice to that. And ICP found their niche, and it's a good one.
Oh, for sure. It's worked this long, man. They definitely they did it. They're fucking doing it.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I do. So going through all these albums, you said you're going through all the Psychopathic releases. So are you still
Fucking crazy.
Are you still doing it chronologically? Because we started doing that chronologically, and then that fell apart pretty quickly, and we just been doing random since then. But how's your experience?
We're still going chronologically. I think the last thing we did was Crimson Creek Boondocks.
Oh, interesting.
And as soon whenever this is over, we'll be going to Magic Ninja whenever that starts up too. So we're hitting it all.
Hey man, keep it rolling as long as people are paying attention, man, and you're having fun. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think actually jumping back to do the stuff that we had missed was really good for me, because for a time I felt like it was kind of stagnating in these, like, I don't know, just a certain era where it's just like, man, I don't know, it's all kind of just blending together in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
And then
that.
jumping back to this really old school sound, all of a sudden I'm like, I feel revitalized now. You got to hear them just being incredibly dumb 17-year-olds. Let's go.
There's something to that. Like the vibe is like people want to compare first and second decks a lot, and we do that a lot here too. But it's easy to say like, oh, this song's better than the other, but why? Why is the new stuff so not as good as the old stuff? And it's there's a special charm about it that comes with, I think, just being in their youth and being so hungry, And
there's something there.
It's been hard to replicate. But that said, I mean, they still come. We've gone through and re-listened to a lot of shit that we weren't sure we would really like. Like just shit that we on first or second listen, like that shit's kind of not great. And we found ourselves like, okay, that's better than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, has there been anything that you listened to that you were just like, okay, this is a low point?
I've had a couple here and there. As Ryda's albums have gone on, I've just gotten more tired of that, because I'm just like, man, it's the first one was fine. You could have just stopped at Dumpin'. We'd have been okay.
Yeah.
But then whenever we had gone up to, what is it, the third or fourth one, and then that was when we went back to do the old stuff, which included Golden Goldies, because he didn't have it at the time.
Okay.
Golden Goldies was a low point for me. I was like, no, man.
I've never given that album more than like a cursory like background listen.
Yeah, I think so. My thoughts on that is like, yeah, if you're a big fan of ICP and Psychopathic Records and all that stuff, that's probably a fun album for you if you really like them and all that stuff, because you're listening to a bunch of these guys that you enjoy listening to, just being goofballs and having a blast in the studio or whatever. But I don't like them. I listen to their music and I think they're okay, but they are not my friends.
Yeah, I get it.
That's my thing.
I can feel that, man. Like that there's a reason that album never was like officially released.
Yeah.
It was just for them initially. Like they wasn't it something. I mean, you probably know all the ins and outs of that recording and why it was recorded and thing. From what I heard, it was just like, it was for each other. It was for
Yeah. Just write something in 5 minutes and record it. There you go, one take.
So you said before you were doing the Juggalo podcast, did you say that you were doing a new metal podcast, or you guys were listening to one?
Listening to one.
Okay.
Our good pals at the Roach Coach podcast.
Oh, shout out.
Good peeps.
Okay. I was curious because I didn't know prior to doing the Juggalo podcast, like had you guys done anything else, like any other YouTube podcasts or anything like that?
Nothing in any kind of public sense. No. Just like we're in a band in our local area. Don't do much right now, but that's about it.
Where are you guys from?
We didn't really do much. Western PA, around the Pittsburgh-ish area.
Okay. Shout out to Western PA. I don't know. I anytime somebody mentions anything in PA, I have like one friend that lives there, and I'm assuming you live by him because I don't know where in PA he even lives.
Tell you what, man, there's some awesome areas in Pennsylvania.
It's not bad. I have driven across the
So
whole
for me, I'm pretty close to the border.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Gage. What'd you say?
So away from me, I'm pretty close to Pennsylvania and the Pittsburgh area.
Oh yeah, he's on the. We all
Like
live in
a
Ohio,
30-minute drive.
Schmeev, if you didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Gage lives a couple hours west of us or east of us, like you said, near the Pennsylvania border. But
Right on.
also Midwest homeboys.
Hell yeah. So, like, how far did you have to go to the gathering?
Like 30 minutes. Literally, we went home every night. I was
Not even that.
Yeah, well, I mean, with traffic, I was home
With traffic, it was 30 minutes, but man, like if you, I drove there in like 20, it was like 22 minutes. Swear to God, I gunned it the whole way and got there in 22 minutes.
Yeah, that part was
Hell
nice. we have had that luxury.
Like that hour.
It was a what? gauge?
It was like an hour and 40 minutes for me, or like 2 hours depending on traffic.
Okay, that ain't too bad for you.
2.5, 3 hours for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
it
ain't too
wasn't
bad. I mean, I would have gladly
Yeah.
drove that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, packed up with my co-host and the ICP with Wee Boys.
Hell
and
yeah.
Headed out.
Yeah, those guys are cool. So, do you
Love
guys?
those guys.
Were you guys like how friendly were you with them or any other Juggalo podcasts prior to the gathering?
So ICP with We is really the only other podcast that we know on any real level.
Okay.
But it's actually pretty funny because they had their write up on Fago Lovers some time ago, and Mike, the shameless promotion guy, puts a comment on it like, "Hey, yeah, if you enjoy this, you should also check out our podcast, Juggalo Judgement," or whatever.
Okay.
And they really could have just fucking, smacked us down on that one.
No,
But
he's hustling. All right.
they were real cool about it. And, since then, we've become very good friends. I love those guys. They flew in from their respective states to carpool out to the gathering. So, and
That's really cool.
because of Eric, that's the reason we had the event at all, because he suggested it, and Jumpsteady was like, yeah, let me call you and set the whole, and you can organize it all. So.
That's so cool, man. Like we had last week we had on the people that were doing the ice carving during the DJ Chunk show or whatever, one of the parties or whatever. We had them on last week, and it was a similar thing. Like they just literally called Jumpsteady or put it out there. I don't know how they got a hold of him or whatever. Just message him or email. Hey, can we do this? They're like, fuck yeah, come on. So I mean, that's Jumpsteady's just he's down.
I would imagine if you get a hold of Jumpsteady in time, you could probably pitch a lot of the thing about it is you're going to have to run it.
Yeah, he's like, okay,
Yeah.
if you can do that, you're in. You know?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it's just through the their whole thing for the gathering where it was like, send us recommendations.
Oh no. Oh no, are you still there?
Oh no. I'm here.
Okay, you're here. If
Okay.
Paused on us a little bit, but you're good.
Yeah, I froze up here too.
it's okay. So you said that so you or ICP with we guys hit them up and like they just like fuck it, yeah, let's do it. I'm so happy they did that, man, because we had, although it was a shit show, like we had fun trying to make it happen, and it felt cool to like we're performing at the gathering, you know.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, shit. First gathering, and I get to fucking have a sanctioned event there. Let's go.
Yeah, that
and
was pretty
people
dope.
coming up to us to talk to us. I'm like, I'm fucking nobody, and people are here to see me.
Yeah, man. It's weird and it's cool though.
Got a kid. I accidentally made a kid throw up. Whoops. Had a chugging contest thing set up.
Oh shit! No.
It looked like they were having some fun over there.
Yeah.
More in our
Yeah,
it was bullshit.
time.
Yeah.
That kid chugged an entire cotton candy. It did not go well for him.
Oh god. Yeah. So you guys had a Fago chugging contest?
I set it up. Mike did not necessarily approve it.
Okay.
I do things on my own, and he just kind of has to deal with the fallout.
Okay, I got you. All right. Hey man, that's cool. You guys you sound like you're a good combo.
Yeah.
So who does
We have a good time.
who does all the technical stuff?
Me.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, so you bought all the equipment. You had to learn how to record. You learn how to use Audacity.
I'm a Reaper guy nowadays.
I'll have to try that out. All right. I'm that guy too. So I just like shooting the shit and learning
Nice.
other people's tactics like that.
Hey, I do some shit.
You do. You're more of the personality. I'm more of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I taught Mike how to do some basic editing because he does his own weekly things on our off weeks just to talk about the recent news and all that.
okay.
So he can throw a thing together real quick. And sometimes I've been like, hey, I'm not feeling it. Can you make an intro for us real quick?
Oh,
'Cause
dope.
I'm just like,
It's about how
I'm not
am.
feeling
Yeah.
artsy today.
Yeah, Carver does his fair share. He's edited together last few videos we've made
Yeah.
and shit like that. So
I can throw together a piece, like a singular piece, and make it good and it comes out good, but like, yeah, the whole just running the show is like, I could not do that.
It's a lot. I
a
can
lot
already
of
tell
work.
just looking at this setup. That's a lot of OBS shit you got going on. You got scenes on scenes, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I do build the sets though. I can build shit, but
Oh, fuck yeah.
doing the fucking the technical stuff, man.
Build the sets, play the guitar.
Yes.
Yeah, build the sets, draw, play the guitar. I can edit some videos together, but that's about it.
Schmeev, what's next on the docket for Juggalo Judgment?
Oh, what the fuck is next on the docket? We did just record. We had the ICP with Wee Boys on to do a debrief episode on the Gathering.
Okay.
We
I'll check that out.
had to record it twice because everything went wrong the first time.
We've been
with
there.
recording.
I feel that. That sucks.
But that'll be out next week.
Cool.
That's going to be the next thing that I put up.
Okay.
And I don't know what our next album is. What the fuck came out after Crimson Creek? Probably, I think it's Let 'Em Bleed too, isn't it?
So wait, how do you keep track of that? Do you have like a spreadsheet or something like that?
We do have a spreadsheet. Mike set it up. He listed it all out. So we got stuff for a long time.
I need that, bro. If he set that, you just share that shit with me.
Yeah, hell yeah. Send that
I
shit
can do
to
that.
us.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, shit, man. Do you have you collected any ICP merch or memorabilia in your time as a Juggalo here? As a whether you like it or not, Juggalo.
The one thing that I do have, well, I mean, aside from my thing here, fuck, it'll show up somewhere.
Oh, I
There
see
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
The
My band and the
pendant
pendant thing.
Yep.
I did the first show that I ever went to, a place called Mr. Smalls. It was an old church converted into a venue in the area.
Okay. Cool.
It's an awesome place. Love it. We saw ICP with POD and Dope DOD and DJ Paul. I think that's everybody. I can't remember. And there I bought a Bloody Mania 7 DVD, I think, and probably one of my favorite things that I've gotten, collecting the special Wizard of the Hood.
Oh, that's a good one.
with the tin.
Wizard of the Hood's great.
Yes.
That is of the solo projects, that is probably my favorite.
Yeah, dude, that's a great one.
I mean that's to me that's brilliant. Just storytelling on a storytelling level. That is a brilliant album right there.
Oh, let me ask this. That had me thinking. Has there been an album that you kind of like? I'm sure there's a lot of albums where going into it you're like, okay, here goes. But I'm curious if there's been one that like knocked your fucking socks off with like how much better it was than you thought it would be.
Man, that's a tough one.
You're like, I didn't expect to like this shit, but it
shit.
fucking slaps. Damn.
I know that you know what? Actually, very recently, the Opaque Brotherhood.
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Lotus.
Hell yeah.
That one surprised the shit out of me because the other two Dark Lotus albums that we listened to, I was okay with the first two, but I wasn't all that into them. I didn't feel like they had anything super special about them. But that one, I was like, oh, they're like digging in on some like storytelling and shit and kind of like building up this image. And I'm like, that's sick. This is good as hell.
We had a pretty similar revelation when we did that album because that was one of those albums we kind of casually listened to when it came out. Didn't really have a strong opinion on, but when we were forced to listen to it for the show, we were like, God damn, well, I'll be goddamned. This fucking album rules. You know, and we had the same thing. We had the same thing with the next one. So I look forward to hearing your opinion on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. But yeah, that one was it was tight. Except exactly like Wizard of the Hood, I stopped before the bonus tracks because I just don't care for them.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the bonus tracks on Wizard of the Hood, like I literally don't even remember them because like they're forgettable.
Yeah.
There's a Bloody Bitch Dead was one. I remember that shit.
There's a few of them on there I like.
Multiple
My
Myself.
Shine was a multiple myself.
I do like My Shine or whatever the hell that one was called.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad. Ain't nobody gonna stop my shine. That one, right?
What's your favorite track? I mean, I know Wizard of the Hood is like a whole experience, but what if you had to pick a track on there? Which one do you like?
Wizard. Oh man, where's it at?
As a
Where's my
remind-
brain at?
Homies of Smoke with Shiny Diamonds.
Homies to smoke with. There it is.
Yeah.
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 I'm like the one with monoxide.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. The
Believe me,
one. Like,
that's
I love that.
That's
track.
my favorite too, bro.
It's a good one.
Hell yeah.
Not even a smoker, but I love it.
Hell yeah. Do you listen to Juggalo Rewind?
I need to get around to it at some point. I've chatted with the guys on that. or at
Those guys are
least one
so
of them.
cool. They that's the only other Juggalo podcast I have really even listened to. Oh, I've listened to a little bit of ICP with We. I'm going to check yours out. But the
Thank you.
Juggalo Rewind guys, they just started doing Wiz of the Hood, and it's been pretty fun listening to that.
Yeah, they that was brought up because we hang out in the ICP with We Discord. Shout out.
I hear it's popping over there. Maybe I should join.
It's pretty good. We got all the peeps in there.
All right, I'll hop over
Most
there.
of them, I don't know. But yeah, they mentioned they were doing that, and I was like, oh shit! And in my head, I'm like, I need to get on one of those. I need to talk about.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
So there's a Violent J has another album that he's putting out. It's the Walking Home thing.
That's right.
He came out with one song. I have no clue if it's ever gonna finish, but it seemed okay. It had some storytelling in it. I thought it was pretty cool. So
But I mean, that has potential if he would just finish that kind of shit. Like, let me rephrase it. It doesn't have potential to be as good as Wizard of the Hood. That was a one and done. You're never fucking pulling that off
I
again.
mean, he said it was. Jay himself said it was going to be as good.
Yeah,
It kind of sounds like it would be a lot like the song "Out."
yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't listened to any of it, but like "Out" is literally just like, here's my day while I was out doing a thing.
Yep.
great song by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
Another
dope.
fantastic storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure at the very least, as a non-juggalo, you've come to appreciate ICB's ability to do that.
For sure.
Even-
that is like a big thing. Is that like Jay can tell the fuck out of a story.
He can.
I mean, he's a
Verse.
natural storyteller, even when he's just talking. You know, even when he's just like Mike E. Clark said in that interview on that one podcast recently. He said, "Yeah, when Jay would be in the studio, he'd run down to the corner store and come back, and you would want to hear that story because
Yeah.
he would have a fucking story."
Hell yeah, it's good shit. Well, we'll get him on Juggalo Origin Story one day.
Yeah, Jay, of course.
Jay, I know you're watching. You're welcome to join us.
We'll get his mom.
Oh yeah, we need Jay's mom.
Him and his
There we go.
mom.
All right, Schmeev. We'll let you go, bro. Does you have any last parting words or any shout outs or anything you wanted to say before you go?
I mean, I don't know. Just check us out, I guess. Juggalo Judgement everywhere. That's it. I don't have a whole lot. Follow me on Twitter at Schmeev if you want. I don't talk about Juggalo stuff that much, but you can probably see about what movie I'm talking about or something.
Fuck yeah. Oh, do you got?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
You're welcome. You got a
it's
movie?
fucking awesome.
You got a movie recommendation for us?
Battlefield Baseball.
Okay. Is that new?
Nope.
Okay.
Mid 2000s, a Japanese movie about a high school baseball team that has to go up against a team that just like murders their opponents and stuff. Mysterious transfer student shows up who's super good at fighting and baseball, and he's like their last hope. It's sick.
That sounds
It's
amazing. All right, Shmeev. Well,
It's
thank
So
very
you're a
much a
fan of
parody.
cinema, huh? Okay.
Oh, I love me some movie.
all right, bro. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll holler at you later. We'll see you next time. I'm gonna check your show out, man. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, thanks you too.
Nice
See ya.
talking to you, buddy.